Hello people, welcome back to the channel. And my name is Darshoshi. I'm a BTech Computer Science and Engineering graduate, and I'm currently working as a developer in a tech company. Let's get started with today's video. I'll just share my screen real quick. So yeah, before starting, please do subscribe to the channel. We are at 42 subscribers, which is pretty good, I guess, for a new channel. So yeah, please do subscribe to the channel. We already have a course out. It's called Python for Absolute Beginners. If you don't know anything about Python and you came across this video, please do check it out if you want to learn Python. And there's another course which is about to end, which is Oops in Python, which is the parent course of this video. So yeah, this is the last video on this course, and after this we'll be starting something else. And let's see what we can do, what we will do. I should say. So yeah, today's video will be basically how do I say it? We would refine our skills in object-oriented programming. Let's get started with that. The first thing which we will be learning is class methods. There are two types of methods, as I have mentioned here: classic method and static method. There are also Dunder methods, but that's not related to these two. Let's get started with the class methods first. So class methods basically operate on the class itself instead of individual objects. It works with the entire class at the same time. It's something like that. They are commonly used as an alternative for the constructors. So that's a class method. Very basic definition of a class method. Now we'll be taking a look at an example. I'll open VS Code. Okay. So let's define an employee. What we can do, we can define a constructor here. By the way, if you don't know what constructor is, you should check out one of the previous videos in which we have discussed the constructor. So we'll take two parameters, which is name and salary, and we'll do something with that, which is self.name equals name and self.salary equals salary. We have basically defined our properties of this class, and now what we'll do the same thing but with, class method decorators. So for that we'll be using this class method, and after writing this decorator, whatever we write would be considered inside a class method. From, let's say, we are calculating the age of the employee. So what we'll do, define this function, let's say from birth year. So what we'll have here is a few properties, which is birth year. Obviously we'll have a name. Let's put name before this, and we'll also have salary, and we'll also have CLS, which is class method. It's a simpler way of defining class methods. So inside this function, what we'll do, we'll calculate the age, which would be 2026 minus birth year. It's true only if your birthday has already passed, but let's go with the flow. And we'll return out name and salary as the class method. So what we have done here is basically like a really simple thing. We have used the class method decorator, and now we'll be implementing this in an actual scenario. Let's get to that. So what we'll do, we'll basically take an employee. It would be an object of the class employee, and we'll use from birth year. Let's call this Pepper. and let's say the pepper is born in year 1990 and the salary is 80,000. Now let's test it out by printing out the employee name and salary. My bad. Copy this and salary. Good to go. And we run it to see the result. So yeah, that's what class method does. It's a decorator and it helps you create something without using init object, basically constructor. If we remove this, let's try it out again, we get an error because we still need to define this thing, the constructor, but we are basically calculating the age from the birth year in this case. So yeah, I hope that's making sense because I'm sure it is. So if it's not making sense, just comment down below. I'll reach out to you in the comments only. So the next thing is static methods, because this was class methods. So static methods are basically normal functions inside a class. They don't depend on instance or the class date. So yeah, let's try it out so that we know it better. Okay, I think this does not require an example. I don't think I thought of an example before, but if I simply define a function here, let's call it def salary deductor, and it would have name salary. So let's do this. Salary equals salary minus 1,000, let's say. It's something like this. If I do print employee dot salary deductor, and inside this I put a name, say pepper, and the salary, which is 80,000. So if I just run this, I would get 79,000. I should get 79,000, but there's some issue. Okay. 2 positional argument, but 3 were given. I don't think we take 2 arguments. I'll figure this out real quick and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I think I know what the issue is. I think I should also take self here, and this should be self.salary. Okay, my bad. Let's run it again, and it is still 80,000 for some reason. What could be the issue? I think the issue is that we are returning this here. If I do this, then it should work perfectly fine. Sorry for delaying it by debugging it right here instead of pausing the video, but anyways, you get the point of what I'm trying to do. That was static methods, and now we'll take a look at what's further. So static methods we have done, and now I think it should be Dunder methods, not wrong. The Dunder methods are basically methods with double underscores. So constructor is a Dunder method, str is a Dunder method. Whatever you're seeing on the screens are basically Dunder methods, and we can basically customize them. And if we are taking the example of this one, add, and we can simply use a plus symbol instead of add, and it would execute that exact function. Same with str, there's some function related to str as well. I think I mentioned that in one of the previous videos. You should check all that out. It's on my channel. I'll have to plug in my channel from time to time because we still have only 42 subscribers. Very grateful, but not enough subscribers. So yeah, that's Dunder methods. Let's take an example of this one, repr, and let's see what it do. Let's jump right here. I think I'll clear all this and I think I'll keep this but clear everything else. Okay, and now what we'll do is define repr, and it would have a self inside that, and what it will do, return the employee details which you have put already. Employee, okay, I think it should be something like this, self dot name. I think I should have kept the constructor, but anyways, we'll bring it back. Okay, now I'll just write the constructor real quick. I'll pause the recording for this meanwhile, and good to go. Let's try this out. I'll just remove this and this entire line. Let's see what happens. Okay, my bad. Okay, we're still getting error. Okay, I think I should put the name here. Let's put it Pepper again. And the salary was, I think, 80,000. That should be good to go. I'll clear the screen. Okay, so what repr does is basically return or print the output which we have. So in this case, it's printing out the employee details which you have put in the class. And yeah, that's the purpose of repr. Let's move on to the next part, which should be data classes, I think. Yeah, it is data classes. So what data classes do is, data classes basically simplify the class creation process. They automatically generate the methods like init and repr. So let's try it out in VS Code as well. Where's the VS Code? Here it is. I'll remove this for the meanwhile. Let's start afresh. So from data classes, what we'll do, we'll import data class, and we'll use the decorator for data class, and we'll simply define our class like we do. And now what we have to do, name equals string and salary equals, not equals, but like, you get the point of what I'm trying to say. And this is how we use the data class decorator and the data class library. So yeah, that was it for data classes, and our class is created, by the way. You can check it out yourself. I'm not covering that here because we are low on time. Next topic is a combined example of both. So let's try this. I won't be showing these slides because it's literally the same thing written here. I think it should be combined. I've written combines, but anyways, no one would have cared if I didn't mention that. But anyways, let's do this class method, and now what we'll do, we'll again use that birth year function which we made in the previous example. So class name birth year salary. That's all we have. And what we'll do, we'll return class name and salary. Again, you can simply test it out yourself. It's up to you, because we have got stuff to do today. And let's move on to the next slide. Next slide is code challenge for you guys. It's really simple. You can just read what was written. I'll explain it as well. So your task is to combine everything what we have learned so far. You have to create an object using the class method and directly print its representation in one line. That's a very brief structural explanation for this. So you can use data class to create a class employee, create an instance using from birth year, name Pepper, birth year 1990, salary would be anything which you want. Then use just print out the output of this entire thing like I did in my VS Code, and that should be it. Yeah, that would work. So for a code challenge, what you have to do is you just simply perform the task which I have given. Just submit the code in the comments. You can also upload it on GitHub and just post the link in the comments. I'll check that out. So yeah, that's the concept of code challenges, and let's conclude the video. To conclude, these features help us write clean, professional and maintainable Python codes. They are widely used in real-world applications. Classes are used for alternative as a constructors. Classes are an alternative for constructors. Class methods, to be specific. Static methods are utility functions. Dunder methods are used for customizing the behavior. And data classes are used for making cleaner classes. Because just look at it. It's simpler to read instead of whatever I was doing before this. Put a colon here because I forgot to do that. So yeah, that's the video for today. Just subscribe to the channel, like the video, because if you're watching so far, I'm sure you learned something new today. So yeah, 42 subscribers. The goal for now is 50. At 50, we'll do something nice. So yeah, that's the video for today, and I'll show my face in a second. So yeah, see you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and have fun.